think twice before stepping out on your significant other on today's Oblyron Divination. Greetings, Soul Family. I am Oblyron, the Lord of Love and the Magister of the Cube. Thank you for joining me on today's Elemental Synastry reading. It's a divination technique I devised, which uses a tarot, astrology, and the 5 elements. So we start off with the element of spirit, which is represented by the bell, and I draw a tarot card to see what is influencing that particular element. All right. So what's influencing spirit? Strength. Nice. Past couple of readings, we've been getting some pretty crazy cards influencing the spirit. So it's nice to see some strength. So the strength card is represented by Leo in astrology, and it is saying that within the spirit there is great strength which is about to manifest. The spirit hasn't quite manifested yet. It's still in the spirit, it's still in the ether, but it's in the process of coming to us. And as we go through the rest of the reading, what we'll find is the other elements relate back to the spirit. So, strength is influencing the spirit, and let's see. Well, let's see what the astrology die have to say to that. So I rolled the astrology die to signify either the advice or the likely outcome. And what we have is Mercury in Cancer in the 6th house. All right. So Mercury, Cancer, 6th house. I roll once for the house and I roll a second time for the decan. All right, we're in the first decan of Cancer. All right. Okay, so what we have here, with it being the first decan of Cancer, is we have the Lord of Love. So there is great strength manifesting in the spirit, and the key to that is our love. The Lord of Love is about, well, on certain aspects, it's about finding love, but also it can be, well, I should say finding love in a relationship, but it can also be about, let's say, finding a greater love as well. And it's still a little bit too early in the reading to determine that, but what I'm getting right now, especially with it being influenced by Mercury, is a need to communicate that love. It's a need to say what we got to say, and having the strength to say that. We're also in the 6th house, which is ruled by Virgo, and a lot of times the energy of Virgo can be debilitated because of, let's say, perfectionism. That's kind of what I'm getting from here. And it's also interesting because Mercury also rules over Virgo. And so what we have here essentially is finding the strength to communicate that love, finding the strength to say what we need to say, and overcoming our insecurities because maybe it might not be in the perfect way that we want to express that. And, you know, maybe perhaps we may feel inadequate for that love, or maybe we may feel shy about that love. But really, you know, with the strength manifesting in the spirit, it's saying, look, don't worry about that. You'll have the strength. Communicate it. You know, don't get too caught up in your head. Don't get too caught up in your own world. Just do what you got to do, and bring it out. Manifest that. So yeah, let's see what the other elements have to say about that. So we're moving on to the element of fire, which is represented by the wands. And our fire can represent our drives and ambitions. It can represent, let's say, the triumph of the human spirit, you know, those types of things. Let's see. What is influencing the element of fire? Okay. The Hierophant. Huh, okay. So, Usually the Hierophant refers to convention and orthodoxy. It refers to something which is already known or established. So I would say that, yeah, whatever needs to be communicated, whatever needs to be done here, you know, try and channel those more conventional and orthodox ways of expressing that. Again, it's through by channeling our ambitions, by channeling our drive into what is already established, that'll really help to manifest what needs to manifest the strength that we need to communicate that love or to communicate what we have to say. Let's see. Let's see what the astrology die I have to recommend for that. Okay, so we have Taurus. Or I'm sorry, the North Node in Taurus in the 4th house. Okay. All right. Let's re-roll for the decan. 1. All right, so the first decan of Taurus in the house of Cancer. All right. All right. Huh. Yeah, this seems to be kind of turning into a bit of a love reading, maybe a relationship reading. So something is happening here where, actually, let me take that back a little bit. The first decan of Taurus is the Lord of Material Trouble, and it's interesting because Taurus is also, or I should say, the Hierophant is also represented by Taurus in astrology. So we have a lot of energy in Taurus, and with it also being in the 4th house, which is ruled by Cancer, it generally has to deal with home or family life. So perhaps, perhaps there's something happening here where we feel sort of destitute in the home life, and that could be what's causing, this doubt in the spirit. Perhaps things aren't exactly what they need to be. Perhaps our ambitions or how we view the home life or our drive to make the home life better, perhaps it's not where we want. But again, that doesn't matter, because the message of this is to find strength in that and to overcome that, to be able to communicate that. It's okay, because at the end of the day, whatever's happening, whatever imperfections may happen in the home life, it's all right, because at the end of the day, there is that love there, and there's a strength with the love. The spirit is saying, don't worry about it. It's the love that's there is strong, and so yeah, and with it also, with the North Node also influencing that, it would suggest to say that this is a karmic lesson. This is what needs to happen, and this is what needs to be overcome in this life. Is that we can't be, life can sometimes be messy. Life isn't always going to be nice and tidy. It can get pretty hectic. It could get pretty chaotic, and regardless of whatever is happening, that love is there. The strength in the love, the home life. It may feel like it's chaotic, but really, again, the strength of the love is there. And so as long as we have faith in our love, we will be able to pull through it. We will be able to pull through any material trouble. And perhaps, it could even be, let's say, some spiritual trouble too. Again, like I said, the first decan of Taurus is the Lord of Material Trouble. And so when you have the element of earth in it, earth isn't necessarily always materialism. It can also be spiritual, because that's the energy of earth. That's the energy of pentacles and whatnot. And so maybe perhaps within our direction, within our moral compass or our guidance, or looking to something like that, we could also be perhaps a little bit spiritually destitute. So it could also be a calling of faith, a calling of, don't lose your faith in it, reconnect with that spiritual side as well. And it's interesting because that's also the Hierophant there too, which again is convention and orthodoxy. So yeah, don't lose faith. It'll work out. The love will see us through. The appreciation for one another will see us through. And again, as long as we communicate that, we'll be okay. All right, let's move along to see what the other elements have to say about that. So now we have the element of air, which is represented by the swords, and it can represent our intellectual pursuits and communication. So what is influencing the element of air? All right, let's see. Looks like we might have... Wait a minute. Oh no, just out of reach. We almost have a sextile forming here, but not quite. It's off by, looks like, a couple degrees. Okay, what's influencing the element of air? Ooh, the inverted Queen of Swords. Okay. So... Queens, the energy of queens, it can be an energetic reason, but it can also, when we get to the court cards, it can also represent real people. For some reason, this is giving me the vibes of that there is an actual person involved. It could be a woman, or let's say a feminine energy, which is causing us a lot of difficulty in our, let's say, communication. Probably that's what I'm starting to get. Yeah. So let's see what the element, or I'm sorry, what the astrology die have to say about that. Okay. So we have Neptune in Capricorn in the 11th house. All right. Okay, let's re-roll for the decan. The 4. So we are in the first decan of Capricorn in the 11th house. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right, so the first decan of Capricorn is the Lord of Harmonious Change. And with Neptune influencing this particular reading, it's saying to sort of suspend action for a little while. Suspend a little bit of, try not to make any hasty decisions. Take a moment to reflect. Take a moment to really take in the situation. And I know it can be hard because you have this inverted Queen of Swords, which is kind of making things very difficult. Very difficult in either trying to communicate with what we're trying to do, or in even trying to... maybe this Queen of Swords energy is also trying to stall us in what we're trying to do as well. But regardless of whatever the Queen of Swords is doing, now's a good time to really take a moment to reflect. And again, with it being the Lord of Harmonious Change, it is also saying to take things in stride. Try not to get too ahead of ourselves. Just take it one day at a time, and to really, again, like I said, soak it in. With the house, or with the 11th house coming up here. It could refer to, let's say, society at large. It could refer to, let's say, an online instance, because that house is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus also has let's say, dominion over technology. And yeah, perhaps, I'm kind of getting the vibes that perhaps, maybe someone online is causing problems, or maybe yeah, someone either online or in society, probably in let's say a social gathering, or like, let's say, a social club. It could even be something like going to church. Maybe someone at church is causing problems and spreading rumors or whatever. Well, whatever's happening there, again, just take it in stride. Try not to be too hasty on that. Just realize, again, going back to the other ones, that you have the strength or I should say, Spirit is lending you the strength. You've got the foundations of love, and again, you got the foundations of home, even though it may not be what we want it to be. So again, just kind of suspend this for a little bit. Try not to be too hasty. Sometimes air can be a little hasty, or I should say the element of air can be a little bit hasty in its decisions. And this is saying, slow down a little bit. Regardless of whatever's happening on the outside, focus on where the strength is at. Focus on the home and family life. Yeah. Okay, let's move along to the element of Earth, which is represented by the Pentacles. Like I said before, Earth can represent spiritual or material wealth. And let's see, what do we have influencing Earth? Inverted Knight of Swords. All right. So, the inverted Knight of Swords. Yeah. This is turning into an interesting... It's kind of taking a bit of a turn. It almost seems like... It almost seems like someone over here is trying to break up a home. Wow. And especially with the inverted Knight of Swords coming in is on the material realm, that we need to change course really quick. We need to we need to there's trouble brewing on the material level. There's trouble brewing, and we need to make a quick exit. We need to we need to change course again with what we're doing. So, yeah. I don't... Yeah, with these two cards sort of coming in, it's almost like, wow, maybe someone's having an affair, almost like, yeah. Well, let's see what the astrology die have to say to that. Okay. So we have the moon in Gemini in the 7th house. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. All right. Let's re-roll for the decan. All right. Ooh, okay. Yeah. Okay, all right. Yeah, this could definitely be that someone is possibly stepping out on their marriage, perhaps, or a committed relationship. So, the third decan of Gemini is the Lord of Ruin, and with it being in Libra, it has to deal. It can deal with marriage, and it can deal with our relationships, and especially our intimate relationships, with this particular reading. So yeah, on the physical plane, something is happening where we're in a position to where there is something that could lead to our ruin. And that's probably why we're getting a lot of home and family life popping up too, and especially with this inverted Queen of Swords. Yeah. Okay, all right. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's almost kind of reiterating the fact that, this has to be put on hold or just suspended or gotten rid of, and this relationship, it needs to come to an end. And the moon is a planet that's influencing this. So it means that deep down on an emotional level, whoever is having the affair, they know that it also has to come to an end. Wow. Wow. If you're being cheated on, I'm sorry. And if you are the cheater, please understand what you have. You have strength. You have strength in this love, and you have perhaps, yeah, it's starting to come out a little bit more. So perhaps, because maybe someone felt neglected or poor in the home life, that's why this inverted Queen of Swords is coming in to cause some trouble. However, again, maybe the affair hasn't happened yet. Maybe, yeah, I'm thinking perhaps the affair hasn't happened yet, because Neptune is influencing that, so it's suspending that. It's saying, whoa, wait a minute. If you're going to step out on your relationship, it's going to create a whole cascading effect of chaos and trauma that you don't want. And deep down on an emotional level, it will lead to your ruin. And that, with the inverted Knight of Swords, it's suggesting just don't follow through with it. It may be tempting, but don't follow through with it, because it is going to lead to the ruin of your marriage or of your relationship, whatever it may be. Just don't go down that path. Have the strength to communicate that. Have the strength to communicate to the person that you are in the relationship with, to express your needs a little bit more and a little bit better, so that you don't feel the need to step out. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. It may seem that way at first, but it's not. Ultimately, people are people, and this affair, it's a fantasy. It's something. It's not reality. Reality is what you have. It's these over here. And hopefully, yeah, the strength is saying, the spirit is saying, there's great strength in this. So don't mess it up. I mean, yeah, we got Cancer here, so that refers to the home life again. There is love in the home life. And then we have Cancer ruling the house here, which is saying, things may not be the best right now, but this right here, this is not the answer. Work it out. Have the strength to work it out. That love will help guide you. Remember why you fell in love with your partner in the first place. And again, whoever this is, maybe, hey, it could even be an online relationship. Maybe like I said, maybe it hasn't gotten to an affair yet, but there's definitely something happening here. There's definitely some wandering eyes, and again, address that, and really respect your partner enough to to not lie and to not put that relationship in jeopardy and to not, go down the path of ruin. Okay. Let's see what the cups have to say. So cups is the element of water, and it represents our emotional natures, our intuitive natures. It can also, again, represent our ancestors. Although in this reading, it's probably going to be more of our emotional nature. So yeah, let's see what's influencing the element of water. What's influencing the cups? Okay. Hopefully, we can find the strength, the emotional strength to salvage what we have, hopefully. Alright. I am a first decan Cancer, so I'm always about working out the relationship. I'm always about, working things out and salvaging it. I'm not about abandoning that, but that's just my own personal preference. Alright. What's happening with water? Okay, so we have the inverted Two of Wands. Okay, oops. Oh, that was a 4. Okay. Inverted Two of Wands. Yeah. So I would say, on an emotional level, you already know that no good can come of it. On an emotional level, you already know that it's not what you want. And yeah, it's even though you may be tempted, ultimately you know that it's not for the highest and best. So let's see what the astrology die have to say to that. Okay, so we got Neptune in Pisces in the 7th house. All right, another 7th house. Okay. Let's see, we got a lot going on here. Let's re-roll for the decan. 7. Okay. So we are in the middle decan of Pisces. All right. Let's see. Let's line this up a little bit. I know it's getting a little bit crowded over here. Yeah, a lot of stuff from Spirit telling us, all right, look at your relationship. Look at your relationship. Look at what you have. All right, so Neptune's popping up again. Again, Neptune is saying, take a step back, take a broader approach, a more broad approach. Take a, suspend that action. Don't follow down that path. You already know that it's going to lead to your ruin. You already know it's already going to lead to no good. Yeah. And with it being the middle decan of Pisces, it is called the Lord of Material Happiness. And so it's saying that on an emotional level, you are already happy. On an emotional level, you already have what you need in your partner. Perhaps things may not be the best right now. Perhaps things may be, maybe a little bit rocky. Maybe rent's late. Maybe not all the bills are getting paid. But you have that strong foundation. The Spirit's telling you have that strength. So the Hierophant's telling you, stick with what's already established. You don't need to venture off elsewhere for that validation. You don't need to venture off elsewhere to feel powerful, because deep down on an emotional level, you know what you have and you don't want to lose it. So, and again, with it being in Libra, that again has to go back and deal with marriage a lot of the times, or let's say our relationships as well. And yeah, again, let's see. We have, yeah, and between, yeah, so we have a conjunction here between earth and water. And when we get something like that, they usually kind of amplify each other. So it's again, like it's saying, those energies work together. It's like, you know, you have you have who you need. Don't mess it up. That's being amplified even more by this conjunction. Okay, let's see what else we got. Let's see, 30. Okay, nope, not there. We almost have the sextile, not quite. Okay, and it looks like we also have, all right, and we also have a trine forming between water and air. So it's interesting. We have the conjunction here, and we have the trine here. So the conjunction's saying that'll lead to your ruin, and with this trining, it's also saying, suspend that, because the grass isn't greener on the other side. This other person is not going to be who you thought they were, and you already know that deep down in your heart. So don't step out. Stay the course. Work things out in your marriage. Work things out in your relationship. Don't go down that path, because you could end up losing something that you're not gonna get back in this lifetime. is kind of what I'm getting here. Yeah. Stick with what's established. Stick with who you're with. Let's see. 30. Okay, not there. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. 1 and 4. Let's see. 50. Almost. This is almost in conjunct, which would make a lot of sense, because here's the marriage and here's the potential affair. But it's not quite in conjunct. But yeah, definitely these energies are I should say, the trine between this and the conjunction here. Yeah, those are definitely amplifying what these messages are. And again, go back to that love. Go back to finding those reasons of why you fell in love in the first place. Go back to, every marriage and every relationship takes work. There's no magical wand that says you're going to be happy for the rest of your life. Once the honeymoon phase is over, it takes a lot of work. And as long as that love is there, and as long as you still care for your significant other, then you should work it out, because this is suggesting that you're already happy, that you're not going to find happiness elsewhere. So yeah. All right. So I think that's about it for today. I hope you got something from this reading. I hope it clarified or confirmed what you were thinking or feeling. Thanks for joining me today. Much love and blessings. I love you all, and I hope to see you again next week.